everybody? Welcome back to the School of Hard Knocks podcast. I'm your host, Mark W. Knox. This show is not going to be like any other. As most of you have noticed when you clicked on my face, thank you very much. This is the 100th episode. And we've got a couple little, a couple things that we want to kind of jump in here and kind of bring some liveliness to the show. The last few weeks have been quite strange. I'm not going to lie to you. Quite strange. Just me trying to really work up to that 100th show as a huge milestone for, what we had set out to do in the beginning. And I wanted to bring in some very special people to the show. But before we do that, wanted to thank every single person, every single listener. If you've listened to 1 minute of one show, thank you very much. If you've listened to every minute of every show, thank you very much, and everybody in between. I really appreciate the support. I appreciate the accountability, and I could not do it without knowing that people are listening, right? Because in this space that I'm in this platform that I'm in, the listeners are everything. So whether we have one listener or whether we have 10,000 listeners, we're going to continue to do the show with the same energy and the same flavor going forward. There's no end in sight. There's definitely no end in sight. So as we get started, let me bring in again two people that are very special to the show. The first person is my wife, obviously, Cecilia. She is the better half of the School of Hard Knocks podcast. And I say that because my job is easy. All I have to do is get on here and talk. Right? That's really all I have to do. Yeah, I got some technical stuff and some buttons to push and things like that. But for the most part, when it comes to helping me develop the content, helping, get the messaging out there, working with our School of Hard Knocks community, she's really spearheads that. And the second person is a part of the foundation of the show. If you really think about this, we wanted to create a full circle moment. This was our first guest. So Danae Hankerson was our first guest when I had no clue what I was doing and she had no clue what she was getting herself into. She graciously agreed to be a guest on the show. So I'm going to bring those two in now. How are you ladies? How's life? You guys good?
Hey. Wonderful.
So,
To
yeah.
be here.
Yeah, thank you for being here. I thought it was only right that since you were our first guest,
Absolutely.
on basically episode 1, that you are now on episode 100. And you guys hear some babies in the background. Listen, we at the crib. That's how it go. Like me and
How y'all
Cece,
doing? How y'all doing?
we in different rooms, but in theory, our kids are
Listen,
unmonitored right now. So don't,
I got my baby. Nope. I got my babies on monitor, baby. I
oh, you
already know
got them
what
on the
they
camera.
doing. And
PT
if
like
y'all catch me, sit down. Y'all better sit down and watch that movie.
So listen, guys, we are on YouTube. This episode will be on YouTube at the same time that it's going to be released on your favorite podcasting platform. Go over to YouTube and type in the School of Hard Knocks or Hard Knocks Podcast and subscribe to the channel.
Yes.
So
Ace.
let me just start. Let me start with this very generic question.
Okay.
When when I put out the first episode of the School of Hard Knocks, like the first episode with Danae, right? And after you guys listened to it, what was your first impression of not only the show? What was your first impression of me behind the microphone, and what was your first impression of like the podcast platform in general?
First of all, how y'all doing? How's everybody doing out there? This your girl Cece. My first thoughts were, this can really go somewhere. Like, he really knows how to interview somebody. Like, you know what I mean? I thought it was really good. And I feel like Danae was coming from a place where she needed that guidance. And I felt like you guided her right along through the interview. And she had fun. She was open with it. So I was like, wow, like, I could really see this going somewhere. I was loving it. I was loving it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm gonna let you know. I'll never forget walking in and seeing the setup. I was like, my homie is serious about this. Like,
Yeah.
and I
Hey,
think that's the best.
He did go out. He did go out and go
Yeah,
get the mics and everything, though. You're right.
I think that's the best thing. And honestly, Mark, like that's what I actually learned from you then, because if you're gonna do something, you do it. You go all out and you make sure that you, if you're gonna do it, you do it right and you get the right thing. So going in and seeing the setup, and then when we recorded, it was such a good time. It was something I had never ever done before. And then like Cece said, the conversation was just so candid and just so off the bat. Now I'll go back and listen to my thing and I'm like, we're aware God is great. And I'm not discrediting him, but now
You were
you
good.
ain't
You were good.
talking about sales, you ain't. And then I hear everybody else's, and I was like, you know what? That blessed somebody. I don't know. You know how God works. It somebody,
Mm.
but I go back and listen. I was like, I gotta cut it off after this point. But
You know,
I
the
never
crazy
go
part
back and
is
listen to the ones I've been on, Danae.
she
Never
never
have I
does.
listened to mine.
She never does.
Like
And
once
I
I
had a
put it out
moment.
there, I put it out there.
I had a moment the
good.
other day with Danae where I got in the car. I got in Cece's car, and she was already listening to one of the episodes. She was listening like last week's episode. And in my
Yeah.
mind, I was like, I cannot listen to this right now. Like
Yeah.
turn him
He was
off.
like, cut dude off.
Like
He was
cut
like, cut
dude
dude
off
off.
right now. I
No,
couldn't do
like
it.
you're
It is.
good.
It's different.
You need to go back and
It's
listen
different
to.
listening
I
to
think
yourself.
absolutely, definitely. I think one of my favorite ones was actually your guys' couple tag. Just knowing how you guys support each other and how the flow of things, it's like wow, just so candid. And
Yeah.
oftentimes we don't get to see a real couple, like real life experiencing things. And and then during that time too, that time period, it was just, that was one of my favorite episodes. And it was just like wow, like they've been rocking with each other, like they're literally best friends. And and they support each other, all the dreams and endeavors. So that was a nice, one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Probably.
No,
Oh,
same
thank
here.
you. Yeah.
Same here. I would love to have Cecilia on the show more often. She
Absolutely.
is up against two things really. One is when I'm doing the show on Sunday evenings, she's
Wow.
she's doing the kids, right? She's
Yeah.
doing baths,
Yeah. I'm
she's
definitely.
doing,
Yeah.
lotion and lavender rub down and putting them to sleep
Yeah.
and trying to keep them quiet. And then she's up against the fact that if she wants to be on the
I'm taking
show,
pictures.
she has to
Yeah.
like, she's got to be on the show. So she's got to go and she's got to change her clothes and get all the macaroni and cheese juice off of her from the day. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so it's a lot. It's a lot, right? Because the kids are like, yo, full time
Yeah.
times 3. So
Yeah. So tonight, and I know in previous episodes, like I know at the beginning, a lot of people knew that we had already put the babies down and Marmar down because they were younger, and we had the baby monitor, with us
yeah,
in the studio.
hmm
And now I'm trying something new. This is the first time. So what I did was I put everybody's pajamas on already and got them set up. They already had dinner, and they're down in the playroom right now watching a movie. Let me watch
see,
my monitor and see what's going
So
on
let
at the
me
same
ask
time.
you. So this
So
is
that's what we're
perfect.
doing right now.
So this is
Yeah.
100 episodes of doing this, and one thing is the commitment, because it didn't just take you, Mark, to commit to this, but Cece, you have to commit to this too.
There
And
it is.
no
That
question.
and
part. That part.
you had twins in the middle of this,
Yeah,
on top of
Hmm.
already having a son, and you're
Girl.
still at work
Pregnant.
every
Pregnant.
week.
Had the twins. Yes. Raising the twins. All of that. And every
So
single week.
yeah,
every single
We
week.
have
every single week.
every single week we have put an episode out there with content, honey. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
motivating people to keep going.
yeah,
Like don't stop.
Absolutely.
And Danae, a lot of our podcasts, I feel like you were in one of them. Sometimes they end off with prayer. We just break out. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? In a prayer, because it's just so uplifting sometimes and it's so motivating to us and the guests. And it's just like, wow,
yeah,
like we really are doing this for a benefit. You know what I mean? Like this is really gonna help somebody. And sometimes I feel like when you're doing a show like this, especially with this type of content, sometimes you don't feel, you don't know who's listening. How is it
That's
affecting
right.
somebody? You know,
That's
is
right.
it helping somebody's business? Do we keep going? You know what I mean? Do we do a series? Do
Yeah.
we do every other week? Do we do a bonus episode? You know what I mean? Like, we just don't know. And what I love about how Mark operates, this is how we're different, is I'm the type of person, I'll have an idea and be like, ooh, babe, let's do this, da 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 da, right? And
Mhm.
he has always been a very patient, slow, and steady person, and with a nice, I can't like put it all together, but he has a way to slow down the process so that it can maintain itself, because a lot of times you can have all these ideas and execute very poorly because you rush through it.
That's a good,
That's
yeah.
huge.
And for him, he's like, great idea, but how are we actually going to execute it so that it can sustain itself over time?
Yeah.
Because the thing is, we don't just want the podcast just for another 100 episodes. You know what I mean? That's really
Right.
only 2 years from now.
Right.
We want the podcast to go on, but however, it has, shoot, oh my gosh, from day one, we didn't have any idea that the podcast was going to be a coaching opportunity for Mark.
None.
You know what I mean?
None.
From day one, we didn't know that we were going to be
Yeah.
like, I was going to be helping him group coach people, have
Yeah.
all these group coaching sessions and all this. And
Yeah. We had no
I
clue.
mean, he's got legit clients. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? He's got clients, he's got groups and it's just crazy how a platform like this, and let me just go back, 'cause I feel like I'm going ahead of myself. I feel that he just really wants the show to grow into its own
Yeah.
and be very authentic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
And
it's been a great time. It's been a great time. And let's put a little bit of funny on it, y'all. The first episode, I was very excited.
she was
I was
very
very
excited.
excited
No,
for the
hold on.
first
Back up.
show.
Hold on. Before. Hold on.
However, I didn't
Hold
want
on.
to be on the first show, but
Hold
I
on.
wanted to be on the first
So, just going back to
because I
what
know
Danae
y'all gonna
said,
get on me.
when she walked in, she seen the setup, right? There's
Yeah.
there's there's a lesson in that. There's a lesson in that I didn't create that lesson. I learned that lesson from my older brother-in-law, that if you're going to do something, or if you're going to say you're going to do something, if you're going to claim to be something, the least you can do is invest in that thing so that when other people see it, they take you seriously, right?
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, if we're going to
Yeah,
start an audio
that part.
video company, let's make sure we've got legit tools. You know what I mean? Like, let's not walk in with like the tool set from Walmart. Like, let's go in with legit tools, the right
Yeah.
tools. Let's not go
Yeah.
in with cheap tools, so that we can not only make the process easier for ourselves, but we can help justify that we are serious and legitimate, right? So that's where
Yeah.
that came from. I'm not saying go out and spend thousands of dollars, but mid grade, you should be good. Mid level, everything, you should be good.
Mhm.
The
Mhm.
other thing was,
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Cece had mentioned interview skills. I ain't never interviewed anybody in my life. I'm not a
Really?
journalist.
Really,
I am
I
not.
would have thought you have in the
No.
past, babe.
But what do? I watch interviews
Mm.
and I learn from interviewers. Right? So a lot of what you hear me do, especially when I have a guest that like wrote a book or something like that, I take from Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon, because I watch the late night shows when they
Mm.
interview people that are promoting their books or their songs or their businesses or whatever, and I kind of follow that same flow. And then you've got, in my opinion, one of the greatest interviewers ever, Oprah Winfrey, right?
Mhm.
So you can
Come
watch
on, shout
Oprah
out to
do an
my girl
interview,
Oprah.
and she'll just keep peeling back the layers of the onion, just peeling it back. How did you feel in that moment? Asking you these futuristic questions and really throwing you off so that you can't come in rehearsed, right? So I pay attention, right? I mean, I think the greatest teacher of what you're probably trying to do is already out there doing it. The teacher
Yeah.
is already out there doing it. You just
Mm.
have to seek that person out, whether it's personal or in person, and really study what they're doing. Not just watch and consume, but
So
study.
actually, I'm gonna sit you right there because that is so interesting. You
I love
said that
her.
is because it was I actually was I went to go get my nails done. And when I tell you this is the best nail artist I have ever been to, but it's just her and her husband.
Mm-hmm.
And she only takes appointments because she's like, I'm so busy. Nobody wants to work. Nobody wants to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so
Mm-hmm.
I can only do appointments only. And maybe I can do a walk-in if they call that day. But one thing that she was saying, she said people don't want to work. And I
Mm.
told her, I was like, you are amazing at your job. And she's like, I was like, well, why don't you go over there? Because she's right down the street from the nail school.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, why don't you go over there and ask and like see if you can get people? She was like, they don't want to work. But when I tell you the way she taught me, she said that she learned was from an older nail tech.
Yeah.
She was like,
Mm-hmm.
I pretty much she gleaned from this woman. She was like, oh, because she said that the way she did my nails was not terrible, but it wasn't the best.
Mm-hmm.
So she's seen better,
Mm-hmm.
which means to me, it's the best I've ever seen. But she was like, no, I've seen better. But
Mm.
my saying was like, hey, I learned this from somebody else. A
Yeah.
lot of people don't realize, like, for instance, companies, they're retiring these older people,
Yeah. Yeah.
but yet you're left with all this new blood, and they're just kind of like, I guess
Yeah. And
we'll
there's a
figure it
big
out.
difference too, Danae, from imitating somebody and trying to do exactly what that somebody does versus being inspired by that person and really kind of
Mm-hmm.
crafting your own
Yes,
flow from what you've learned from other people,
yes,
right?
yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes,
There it is, right there.
yes.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think that's so, so, so important because you even said it. You were like, I'm not the creator of this, the setup, why I was like that.
Yeah.
So I just find it interesting that this is the flow of kind of how this is if
Mm-hmm.
you're going to do it, do it.
Yeah.
Because I think that has something to do with manifestation too. It's like the it's in the power of the tongue, but it's also if you're out here like,
Yes,
I'm
it
not too
is.
good,
Oh man.
you're not going to be too good at it.
Very much so.
But if you continue to put it out there, like, okay, it wasn't the best, but
Mm-hmm.
hey, we got out there and we did it. It's
Yeah.
going to continue to get better. Then you're going
Yeah.
to continue to grow off of that because you have to believe in yourself first before you can
Yes.
people to believe
Mm-hmm.
or feel
Yes.
that
Mm-hmm.
fill that gap.
Right.
So it's like if you don't believe it, then why am I about to go? Why would I even listen to it?
Come on now.
Yeah.
Come
You don't
on.
even want to listen to your own stuff.
Right.
So I think it's important for you guys to go back and listen to
You
your.
ain't lying. It is. It is. I tell you what, I do enjoy listening to the shows that are, let's say, less than episode like 70, where we are now. So everything before 70, I really enjoy listening to those because
Yes.
I was in a whole different place in life, right? My family dynamic was different. It was things were different, right? So when I go back and I listen to those episodes, I'm like, yo, that was deep. Or it just gives me an opportunity to forget what I said and then actually consult myself,
Mm.
right? Counsel and coach
Yeah.
myself. Like, you know what? You need
Yeah.
to go back and
Yeah.
listen to the episode on grit, or you need to listen to the episode on dedication, right? Because it's like, I know I said it. I know I said it, but I didn't know I needed it and in this moment. And it's
Yeah.
there for me,
Yeah.
right? I tell you something else I do, um, and I did before this is I listen to a lot of podcasts, right? And I
Mm.
listen to a ton of talk radio. CC absolutely hates it.
Yeah.
Marmar
I
gets
don't.
in
I
the
don't
truck
like all.
and he's like, "Daddy, I don't want to listen to the news. I want to listen to
We want to
music.
listen to
Yeah, I want
music.
to listen to music." I listen to talk radio, all kinds of stuff, right? I listen to a lot of RV podcasts. I listen to travel podcasts. I listen to self and health and business and all kind of stuff, right? So it when you get that much exposure on a platform that you're trying to develop for yourself, it keeps you in your lane, but it also lets you see what other people are doing, and you get inspired by those things, right? It's
Mhm.
not just like
Mhm.
I'm only listening to my podcast. It's no competition in the podcast world, like really,
It really is not.
you know what I mean? It's no room for any of that. So yeah, yeah. It's been every week I learn something different every single week, and I stretch
Mhm.
myself way more than I ever thought I could. You know?
And the thing is, to each episode is so different,
Yes, it
so
is.
different.
I think so too.
Even if you have like, I think. Jerron was on here before
Mm-hmm.
his book came out, and
Mm-hmm.
then when his book came out, you had him back.
Yeah.
And even though it was the same, same dynamic
Yeah.
and same energy and everything, the conversation was completely different than what you got
Mm-hmm.
before.
Right.
So it's just like it's so
Mm-hmm.
interesting. And then you had like a financial episode too,
Mm-hmm.
where it was just like, wow, I didn't
Mm-hmm.
even think. And I think it was maybe one of your top 10 where you did the finance,
It had to
top
be.
20 or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, it was the
Yeah.
early one.
Mm-hmm.
And it it was just mind blowing because you're just like, wow, I don't realize where I'm spending my money or where my money's going
Yeah.
until after the fact. So it kind of checks you. So a lot of your episodes are like checkmates, like, are you
Yeah.
doing this? Do you feel
Wow.
actually putting your best foot forward in this? And I think that's like where that coaching comes in. It's like, hey, you could still get the coaching from this,
Yeah.
maybe not the one-on-one,
Right,
but
right,
I'm
right.
a little
Right.
coaching. And
Right.
I think even though it wasn't a coaching, it didn't go in as being a coaching episode, you still can get some good meat and potatoes from it.
Gems, yeah.
Whatever. And it's like, you want to go into realty, great, go listen to Jerron.
Yeah.
You want to hear about, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's great that
Yes.
you have these different platforms, and they're so different too that you can just go back and listen to that one segment and be like, okay, well, what did this person do to get where they're at?
You know what's
They
crazy that
don't
you
all
say
tie
that
together.
is I was worried. Man, it wasn't that long ago. I think it was in this maybe in the '60s where um, we had two individuals who both owned fitness businesses, right?
Oh, yeah,
Coach
yeah, yeah.
uh Bad
The
Fitness
bad,
and then Coach Live. And I'm telling you
yes.
right now, y'all, I was worried because those episodes are only like maybe 2 or 3 weeks apart. And I was like, people gonna think that I'm like obsessed with like gyms and people working
But
out.
they own had
Those
their,
two
but both
episodes were
episodes
Hey,
had
so
their
different.
own, yeah.
Yes, they were so different. It didn't and what I come to realize after interviewing so many small business owners is that every business is like completely different. And it really doesn't matter what the business is. It's more about the mentality of the individual that founded the
Who's running the
business and who's
business?
running the
Yeah,
business. It doesn't matter
yeah.
because we sat here and really heard like um 2 or 3 people with totally different businesses say the exact same stuff,
mhm.
right? I mean, Olgi will
That
say
part.
something, and then I'm trying to think. Olgi will say something, and then Coach Liv will say something, and then who's the other one that was just like it was
Dr.
just like
Bates was on, you
yeah,
know.
it's just like they all say
She
the
would,
same thing.
yeah.
It don't matter what type of business you have. It's all about
Hmm.
the mindset,
It's the
right?
mentality and mindset. You got it,
Yeah,
babe. Yeah.
and that's really what this show is about. The show is about entrepreneurship, yes, but it's really about going back to the preview episode when I said we want to help you become the best version of yourself so that you can be successful in business, right? So it's like personal wellness coaching with a spin of entrepreneurship, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So far I
So
think we doing that.
I love it.
do you feel like, I would say that's your mission statement then, since that was your kind of first platform. Do
Hmm.
you feel like every time that you guys prepared for this, that you went back to that, like, okay, well, what's our mission? Or do you feel like somehow it just
Yeah.
somehow came together like that? Or
No.
what did you guys
Yeah.
plan according to, hey, this is exactly the way I want to continue
Hmm.
on this path? Or was it just kind of like, hey, let's just flow?
That's a good question, right? So, and I'm gonna definitely let Cece chime in on this one for sure. As she said, we want the show to become whatever the show is going to become organically, but we still
Mhm.
have guardrails up, right? So
Right.
for us, there's been many times where she or even myself would say, "I want to have this person on the show. Or I want to have this person on the show," and before we even start to think about what a show with that person would be like, we really dig
Hmm.
in and do research on that person and the image and persona that they put out there to make sure that it's going to be beneficial to our listeners. right? So we definitely have guardrails up, and we always look at the mission and the vision of, if we don't think they can positively contribute to the self value of our listeners, like at a high
Mm-hmm.
level, then we don't want them on. Because we've had a lot of people that want to, man, you know how many requests we get for people who want to be on the show? Yeah. We
Mm-hmm.
get people who DM us who want to be on the show, or people's secretaries or assistants will DM us asking to be on the show. And I hate to say it, but a lot of times that's a self-promotion type deal. Now, granted, when you get on the show, I'm
Exactly.
gonna promote your stuff so that you don't have to, right? That's one thing I
Right.
learned from Jimmy
Right.
Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon is
Wow.
they will promote your material, your new movie, your new book, your new album, so that you don't have to, so that you don't sound self-promoting and self-serving, right? But
Wow.
what
Mm-hmm.
these people who request to get on the show don't understand is the show's not about them. It's just
Yeah.
not. I'm
Wow.
interviewing you because I'm trying to pull out from you certain
Yep.
things that will benefit the listener,
Mm-hmm.
It's
right?
the
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I mean, they,
And
if
it
go ahead,
turns,
babe.
yeah, and it turns into it being about who you are versus the business that you run. Like,
Exactly.
you know what I mean? Like really almost halfway through your episode, the listener, I don't want them to necessarily, we don't want them necessarily to forget what it is that you do.
Mm-hmm.
But in a sense, you want what your business principles are to apply to anybody's business at the
Yeah.
end of the day,
Yeah.
right?
You do.
Because then I think for Mark, I think he just wanted that inclusive, like he wanted all businesses to feel welcome to listen to the podcast, no matter, you know what I mean, like
Mm-hmm.
what business they
Absolutely.
ran. Because I know I can get up on here, y'all, for real, and give y'all, what I know about business and my business and how I run it. And I feel like it would be helpful to somebody who cut grass, to someone who,
Yeah.
I don't know, you know what I mean, ran a school or something.
For sure.
But I know I'm random. But yeah, I just think it's been dope. It's been dope. Like I've loved it. I've loved the free flow. One thing I do appreciate from you, Mark, is that one, you make people feel comfortable on the show, and two, there literally is no script, y'all. Like
Mm.
Tell them again.
there's like some type of structure. Like, hey, I'm gonna introduce you guys, and then we're gonna talk, and then we're gonna wrap it up. I mean, like there's a general structure, but
Yeah.
there is absolutely no script
Nope.
at all. We literally don't even know where the conversation is gonna go.
Nope.
We just let it flow, because at the end of the day, we chilling, y'all. Like, you know what I mean? We're not making millions of dollars off of this. Like, we got our own things going on. We are doing this for fun. This is something that Mark and I enjoy doing together.
Right.
This is a hobby of ours that has grown to be,
A business.
a
Yeah.
vocation in a sense, and a
Mm-hmm.
business. So, and we're just gonna let it grow how it needs to grow, and in the meanwhile, grow our team so it could grow even further.
Absolutely. I think it's interesting how Mark had went in and was like, "Hey, people message me trying to get on the show," and I
Most
think that's so
definitely.
interesting how the number one from the first episode, and that's where I go talking about God. I love God, everybody. Hey,
Amen.
amen. Um, but how I was just kind of like, oh my gosh, sis, you could have backed off. But that was the first episode.
Yeah.
And now you have
Mm.
it locks some people in, because
Mhm.
you listen to the next episode and everything, and now you have people that want you to promote them or want to get on.
Yeah.
But I also was thinking too, like, Mark, you created a platform for these small businesses, and a lot of people you had on here, like some are older to the point where a podcast, what's a podcast? Wait, why
Yeah.
do you want to talk to me?
For sure.
Right. Right.
As Black businesses, they're used to being shunned and just saying, hey, I'm doing good in my community. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
But
Right.
now you're
Right.
giving them this platform to where they can, hey, let me wait. This young blood care about what I got going on.
Right.
You think other
So
Right.
people
good,
will
Danae.
care to hear about me? So you created this platform, And I don't think you realize how amazing that is, that these small businesses can, have this area to where they can say, hey, no, it's just like the episode we did about Black businesses, just pretty much say, hey, this is how I would like, hey, no, this is why we do it this way.
Yeah.
I think at one time there was I don't know if it was you, Mark, or somebody else that said, going into, we often want, this is where we fail, as we go to friends and family to support us.
Yeah.
And they're always looking for discounts and stuff, right?
Shout out to Keisha.
That's all down right there.
Yeah.
You pronounced her name wrong. Hey, girl.
So hey.
I think that's just so interesting, because now you've created this small platform to allow these small businesses to actually say, hey, no, because no, I never would have thought about that. That was so deep. Like, oh, well, that's why. And that's how our businesses end up plummeting, or we end up coming to a plateau. I don't feel like growing. I don't feel like moving any further, because every time I go, I'm getting business. But the people that come to me, oh, Josh, I seen you did Josh's blah, blah, blah. He said it was this much. You know me, you're not gonna give me the thing. I'm his sister. Okay, Ian.
Right.
So it puts you in a hole to where it plateaus your business. Yeah, and it plateaus your business, and you're just like, I don't want to further this. I'm burnt out. It burns you out. It makes you not want to continue to go, because you don't feel. It's almost like it takes a bit of your worth.
For sure.
And that product that you're putting in, that time that you're putting in, it's just like you being a hairstylist. If you were to go in and do the same prices you were doing for college, when we were swapping ramen noodles for hairstyles and stuff.
Girl, come on now.
And people don't realize
Danae,
that.
I remember Danae, hold up. I remember doing a sewing, y'all, in college for $20.
Somebody tripping.
Danae, you remember that? You remember that? Like a couple of meal swipes with the card, I do your hair.
Yeah, I want eyebrows.
Ain't no way.
Oh, come on up to my room. I got you.
Yeah.
We're going to make
Mark said ain't no way.
No, you're right. Haircuts was $5.
It's the truth.
But you can't live that way. But now we're living where everybody wants a business, because if you do a business right, it can grow and make you a great entrepreneur where you're working for yourself and everything. It's great, but we don't know the keys to get there. We just want to have an idea and then straight up, oh, okay, I'm a multimillionaire. No, you have
and
to
not only and to add to that, Danae, not only do people do that, it's that people try to see what other people are doing and emulate. Like they try to just, what do we call it, Mark? Imitate what they're doing.
Yeah. I mean,
like we see somebody on social media and we're like, oh, let me do this, and this. But you don't really know what it took for him or her to get there. You don't know exactly what tools they're using and what products they're using. You don't know that. You're just looking at a quick Instagram 30-second reel. You know what I mean? And you're thinking like, oh, I could do that. You don't know how hard that person, how much work they put into that,
Yeah. So listening to, or, having the older gentleman on here talking about, fitness centers and everything, that was monumental, because it's like, wow, you guys did this in the 60s. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
and it's
Now we have had some amazing guests on the show. We really have.
We definitely have amazing. You know what's one thing too, just to go on that point a little bit further. When we first started, the first 4 or 5 interviews, maybe even more, I used to pride myself on writing intros and bios for each guest that were fire. Okay, I'm talking about fire.
They were.
It would get to the point.
Hold up. They would get on it. Hold on. It would be their turn. They'd be like, dang.
Or they would get on the point and be like, oh, you talking to me? You talking about me? Oh, didn't know that.
Seriously.
So I was doing that, and I was thinking that I was doing a justice to the guest, and I was pumping the guest up
Mm.
for a good reason, because I wanted them to be comfortable, and I wanted them to know that I really appreciate them being on the show. But at the same time, I was doing a injustice to my listeners, right? And how I figured this out was I was actually putting up a huge wall between the listener and the guest, because I was pumping up the guest so much, and well within their rights. I mean, I wasn't lying. I wasn't even embellishing. I was keeping it 100. This is the achievement. Excuse me, but I was basically telling the listener, and until you can do all of this, you can't do what they've been able to do.
Mm.
Right? So I stopped introducing people straight out the gate. I'm not
When
going
did
to tell
that
you,
revelation come?
man. Probably after I interviewed Vernon Jackson.
Wow.
Somewhere between Vernon Jackson
Mhm.
and G was, I was like, yeah, I probably should just let them tell their own story, because if I do it so early in the situation, in the broadcast, so to speak, I'm gonna put up a wall, and it's gonna signal to the listener that if I've made mistakes in my life, if I don't have education, if I don't have an MBA, some of my guests have doctorates, if I don't have any of these things, I can't write a book, I can't start a business, I can't create a new product, right? So I stopped doing it, because what I wanted to do was I wanted to make the listener feel like the guest, the only difference between the two was their mindset, which is something that you're in complete
Okay.
control of most of the time, right? You're in complete control of, and you can manipulate, and you can change. If the only difference between, listener A and Dr. Letitia Bates is the mindset, then guess what? You can do everything that she was able to do. You just got to change how you think.
Mhm.
You don't need a PhD
Mm.
first, right? You don't need to write a book and be
Mm.
published first. You just need to change your
Mm.
mind, right? So, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
when we start talking about the guests, Cecilia, we've had some guests on this show that I tell you right now, I was intimidated by the person before I even started talking to him. You telling me you wrote a book? You telling me you published? You telling me you a millionaire? You telling me you got a PhD? I'm like, hold on a minute. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you, Olgi, Olgi Sungolo, the CEO of the Difference
The
Athletic
difference,
Shoe
yeah.
Company. Um, I was intimidated by Olgi, man, and Olgi is like the most humble, down to earth person I've met since I've been an adult. Love Olgi, and I was intimidated by him because he is a CEO of a global brand of a groundbreaking technology in the heelless shoe, right? I'm like,
Mm.
man, like,
Mm.
dude, like, how am I supposed to talk to this guy? You know what I mean? I've talked to CEOs before, no big deal. But how am I supposed to talk to this guy, right? So I
Mhm.
came to the point where I let all of that go, right? I let all of that intimidation and all that stuff go, and really just dug deep into the mindset, right? So when we come back from this quick break, that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about mindset. We're going to go attend to these children real quick, and then we're going to take a quick water break. So we will be right back. And we are back. School of Hard Knocks podcast. Just had to take a quick little break. Now, what I want to do is I want to do favorite episode, favorite guest. Favorite episode, favorite guest. And I'm going to start with Danae. Favorite episode, Danae.
My favorite episode would have to be 21. I think that was
21.
with Andrew. Is it
Tu-
Tudor?
Andrew Tudor. Burn the
Man,
ships. Burn the
Mhm.
ships. That
Mhm.
episode was
Mhm.
phenomenal. Phenomenal. Episode
That was a
21.
good one.
Yeah, go.
flame,
That's like worth like listening to twice
flames,
with a notebook.
flame. One of the ones you got to rewind and go
Yeah,
back and say, wait,
yeah.
what you
Right. What did you just say? Yeah. I mean, I'm talking about, yeah.
texting? I think I remember either texting and saying, did this man really just say, like, it was just something dynamic that was just like, just spitting fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was what, 20, episode 21.
Episode 21. And I'll be honest, that was the point in time where I really started to realize what we had. That's when I was
Mm.
like, yo, this right here, people get behind this
Mhm.
microphone and really start doing this
Mhm.
and start talking like this.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, we on our way. You know what I mean? That's when that
Mhm.
idea came about. Now was that also your favorite guest, Danae?
Actually, my favorite guest was, I think it was Dalkeisha,
Yeah,
her mirror moments or
mirror
something.
moments. Yep, mirror moments.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
just
Mhm.
like I, first of all, she's amazing.
Listen.
Like I was
Yes, she
so
is.
excited to be on the episode with her because just her career path and everything. Because
Yeah,
she's a life coach,
yeah.
correct? Is that
Uh huh.
culture? Yeah.
Uh huh.
And so to hear her, to hear it coming from a life coach, like I don't think people realize like how amazing of her that was because she charges people to do that. And
I'm
she got
saying.
on this show
I'm saying.
and just and was just and she's so humble. Like she's so amazing. She's so humble. I would love to meet her one day. Gonna have to hook that up one day. But
No, no
um
question. No question.
she's she's just so humble and it just rolls off just so easy and effortlessly. So you can just tell that she's just
Oh yeah.
walking in her calling and where she's exactly supposed to be. So I
Absolutely.
definitely, and then
Oh
when
yeah.
I got the honor to be on the show with her, it was just kind of like, you see me, I even quoted her.
Hey, for real, man. She is yeah, she's dynamic and she has a way with words for sure. She
Yes,
really
she
She
does.
does.
does. She
Um
does. To the point where you feel her. You know what I
you
mean?
feel her, yeah.
Yeah,
And
Mark.
she's hilarious.
She
She's
is.
hilarious. I
She
mean, yeah.
is.
Listen,
Yeah.
And she's
I
not.
remember
listen.
her and I did the
I'm
episode about
surprised
raising prices
she's not a comedian.
and we was
Hmm.
clowning the whole time. We did a whole episode about your price should be higher. We were clowning the whole time. So, all right. So,
Yeah, yeah.
my
Mark,
go.
who are
Yeah,
yours?
yeah. My favorite guest, which is plural. It's guests. Is or
Yes.
was my college roommates. Yes.
Yeah,
Episode
yeah, yeah. I can see that.
65. Episode 65. I had on Everett Butts, who was my lifelong best man, best friend. I had on Ian Johnson, who was also my best friend. And I had on Jeff Payton, who was also my best friend. And we were all roommates in college, junior year. And let me tell y'all, we grew into something from that time frame that we would have never imagined in the present.
Man.
Mm,
Right? That was
mm.
man, we graduated in '07, so that was over 10 years ago. And we grew into something that like none of us seen where we are now back then. We had no clue. We didn't see it. We didn't see the
Mhm,
families.
mhm,
We didn't see the wealth. We didn't see the businesses. We didn't see the ambition. None of that.
mm.
So when we connected as grown adult 30 mid 30-year-old men from early 20s clowns, it was amazing. We talked about fatherhood, we talked about business, we talked about career, fashion, we talked about all that kind of stuff, right? So definitely check that out. Favorite guest for sure. Favorite episode. Favorite episode. Episode number
Drum
40.
roll.
Episode number
Episode
40.
40.
Episode number 40. A father's duty.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Yes. Yes. So I recorded that episode just before Father's Day, 2020. And it was an interesting time, obviously, because I couldn't necessarily see my dad as much as I had been used to, but I was talking to him on a regular basis.
Mm.
It was right after we had the babies, and that's when
Mm.
I became a father of three, right? And at that moment, I was like, this is real. Like having one kid, you can like cheat. You can put the cheat code in and not get caught, right? Like because you got
Yeah.
one, so you can kind of slip by. You can't do that with three. Like on three, you got to
That's
be
so
on
messed
point.
up. I
Like you got to
wonder.
know your stuff
Right.
on three. You can't look on somebody else's test, right?
Ooh, if you're the only child, you must have,
Yeah.
gone.
So I made this. I did this whole episode about exposure and how my dad exposed my sisters and I to so many different things that has really helped shape my outlook on life and who I've become, what I've been able to do. And I look back on that and I said that is the father's duty, right? The father's
Mm.
duty is to expose the children to help them see that the world is so much bigger than where they are. And from that episode, I actually got the opportunity to speak to a foster care and adoptive group at Crossroads Church virtually for one of their monthly
Mm-hmm.
sessions. And that's exactly what I spoke on, which was
Mm-hmm.
exposure for foster children, right? And I was talking
There
about
it
how
is.
important it was for the father to be involved. And again, amazing episode. I dedicated that to my dad. And of course, he was completely surprised because he listens to every single show he listens to.
Mhm.
So shout out to him for sure. So those are my two. Cecilia, what about you?
So for me, I feel like I'm really biased, you guys, because yeah, as somewhat of what a producer of the show, or whatever you want to call me, like I'm kind of connected to every guest.
You are.
So
You are.
kind of, sort of, every guest that has been on the show, most of them, I've wanted to be on the show, right?
No question.
Um, either either I've known them for a while and saw their growth through social media or
Mm-hmm.
personally,
Mm-hmm.
or it was one guest, the CEO of Tally and Twine. I just saw him on Instagram, saw his products on Instagram, didn't know him at all, and just shot my shot.
Yep.
But one of I have two. I have two favorite guests that was very impactful for me, and that one was episode 61 with Danielle Thompson.
No question.
And
That's
Danielle
another one that'll have you on the
Thompson's
floor praying.
episode had me
For
crying.
real, every time. I love Danielle. Man, wow. I
Like,
love Danielle.
see,
Man.
I
what
forgot
Danielle
that.
brought to the show. Danielle brought so much depth to the
Oh yeah,
show.
no question.
She brought some heart. She brought feeling to the show.
Yeah,
She brought that entrepreneurs, we bleed, we cry, we struggle,
yeah.
but we make it, right?
Yeah.
The other part of my uh, reason for picking episode 61 is Danielle was someone that I looked up to in college. She was
Mm-hmm.
definitely a
Mm-hmm.
good, was she 3 years ahead of me, Mark? I feel like it. I feel like I
Yeah.
was a
Well,
freshman, she was
she,
a senior, or
yeah.
she was a junior. I don't know. I feel like
Well,
she was ahead of
yeah.
me.
3.
Um, and I always was inspired and looked up to Danielle. And I mean, you can fast forward almost 12 years later or so. I noticed on social media that she started, making her own accessories
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
jewelry and all of these different things, but it was like really, really growing for her. I mean, she had a photo shoot. I'm like, okay, hold up. I need to see if I can get Danielle on the show because she's
Yeah.
out here doing it.
Absolutely.
And y'all, I was so scared to like ask her. I was intimidated because I didn't know if she would want to do it. You know what I mean? And she was just, I don't know, when you really look up to somebody that you just look up to and it's
Mhm.
genuine, sometimes you are a little intimidated to approach them, right?
Mhm.
But what it has shown me now in present day, because Danielle and I encourage each other so much, that sometimes you guys, you just have to be willing to just ask the question and just shoot your shot.
Yeah.
Because listen, Danielle is the most humblest person.
Absolutely.
Danielle's like, I don't know nothing about no podcast. I ain't technical. I mean, I do it, but I don't know how to do it.
But
And it
imagine though.
almost seemed as if I thought I was going to need her for so much help, but she's needed me for so much help. And
But
it's so crazy. It's
imagine
like
you were
you can stop
intimidated.
yourself from a blessing if you just don't even ask. Uh huh.
You were
Wait.
intimidated by her by asking her to be on the show, and
Mm.
she was absolutely
Yes.
honored and terrified at the
But
same
she was
time to be on
terrified.
the show.
I remember, yes,
Right?
yes.
I mean, I'm
But
just
she did
like
so good.
genuine personality. Um, and that just goes to show you, a lot of times we do when we look up to people over the years, if we don't have a true personal relationship with those people, we can inadvertently put them on a platform in our minds that they didn't ask to be on, right? And again, it creates a wall between us and them to where we're like, it's this big, powerful figure. How do I even approach them? And the reality is, they're no different from you, right?
There it is, right
they
there.
trying to make something of themselves. They trying to break generational curses just like you, right? So it really is worth a call. I don't know who that was for, but you can take it.
I was gonna say at some point I figure, it's been 100 episodes, right?
It's been a
Right?
hundred. It's been a
Yes, it
hundred.
has. Yes, it has. Come on.
Mark Knox seems to snatch somebody's eyelashes, the brows, the weaves, the edges. You just never leave the same every episode.
Stay dropping gems.
And it's just stay. I knew it was coming. I'm
Stay.
like, okay, so there was somewhere you got to sneak in an edge snatch. I got you. That's fair.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't
Yeah.
be School of Hard Knocks if you didn't snatch an edge or two. Okay.
Very true.
Yeah.
And it's just so interesting. It's like 100 episodes, bro. Like, I look up to you guys. You guys are like my siblings, my older siblings, my older brother. I love you guys, and it's just been such an honor. I am so very proud of both of you guys. I know this is
Thank you.
this has been Mark's baby, but at the end of the day, Cece was ready to rock and roll. She like, how can I support my husband?
Yeah.
And she became your producer. So this is amazing, and I'm so very proud of you guys. And I just I hope that this 100 episode doesn't mean, and I don't even have to say I hope. I know that because of this 100 episode. But you know what? I wonder though. You did almost 100 guests, right?
Well,
I wonder what you have to say about.
I wonder
100.
what the guests have to say.
Time out.
I wonder what guests have to say. I have something for you, Mark. I'm not tech savvy, but your guest has something to say to you.
Oh, you record. Just remember the microphone is on your.
He's so extra. So is it right here?
Yeah, it's right there. So
all right. I'm gonna play. I have a me prize for you. That's what our son says.
A me prize.
Marquez, he's working on his pronunciation and his speech and his words, you guys. But instead of having a surprise for you, Marquez would say, "Daddy, I have a me prize for you." So I'm not tech savvy. I think you'll understand my drift, but I have a little gift for you, and I don't know how to play it. You can't see my screen, but I don't know how to do it. But can I press play?
Yeah.
Episode is ready. Congratulations, Mark, on your 100th episode. It's Randy Williams from episode 69, Tally and Twine Watch Company, wishing you much continued success. 100 episodes says that you're consistent, you're hardworking, and you're dedicated to what you're doing. I wish you 100 more, and congratulations.
I am Ray Ball. I was episode number 23, the Jordan episode. Thank you, Mark. Thank you for picking me up in the middle of a pandemic when I didn't know what to do with my business. I didn't really know what to do with my life either. But you stuck with me, and you believed in me, obviously, in times that I did not necessarily believe in myself. And I just wish that you keep going. Like, you have 100, you're in your 100th episode, and I really hope you have 100,000 more. Keep going, keep teaching us how to be better business folk. Keep being an amazing dad, an amazing husband, amazing father, son, and keep executing. Keep doing it. You got it. You've always had it, and that's why you're able to give it to us. So I thank you and congratulations on your 100th episode.
Hey, Mark. It's Jeff and L'Oreal.
Yeah.
I just wanted to take some time to say congratulations on 100 episodes of the School of Hard Knocks podcast. I was on episode 65, Roommate Goals, and L'Oreal was on episode 31, Trust Your Dopest.
Yep.
Definitely it's a huge achievement. Certainly an exercise in discipline as well as consistency, but also more importantly, just a testament to your dedication to bringing folks together, spreading wealth of knowledge, and sharing your expertise in the world of business as well as life, fatherhood, brotherhood, leadership, as well as just really, really being an advocate and bettering other people. So, again, congratulations. Here's to 100 more episodes. And, baby, you want to say something? I feel like you said everything, but we're really proud of you and congratulations on this huge milestone and accomplishment. Definitely rooting for you and wishing you many, many more years of success. All right. Thank you. Bye. See ya. Ever Butts here. I was featured on the 13th episode, Children's Children. I want to give a big shout out to Mark and congratulate him on his 100th episode. Continue to keep it consistent, bro. I'm proud of you, and I'm happy to do whatever I can to help you on this journey. Just let me know, and keep on pushing through.
Wow.
My brother Mark Knox, congrats on the 100 episodes, and just thank you for your consistency, and most of all, your flavor and creativity that you bring to your platform. I've learned so much, and I just thank you for being you, man. And I remember when you set out to say, hey, man, I think I can do this podcast thing, and I have a lot to bring to the table, man. And you have not felt short of that, and I just thank you. I've learned a lot. And I just want to say cheers to 100 more episodes, 1,000 episodes. So just thank you for just being obedient to, guys calling. And, I love you, man. And I really can't wait to see what the future holds for you. All right, take care.
What's up, Knox, man? I want to send you a video, man, saying congratulations on the 100th episode, bro. You've been working, you've been hustling, and you're one of the best interviewers I've ever had from Up Looking Glass. And as an author, very, very good questions, and your interaction is it's one that, will go down in the books, and I look forward to the next time we get to work with each other. But, in closing, bro, just continue being great, continue choosing your greatness, continue, being vulnerable with people, because as my friend said one time, when our hearts open, other hearts open too. Thank you for choosing your greatness, because as you've done that, a guy like myself was able to share mine, and you've done it for so many others, which is why you at your 100th episode, and I salute you for 1,000 more.
Hey, son. First of all, I just want to say congratulations on the big 100th episode. Wow. It's been a fun ride for me. Just because of who you are, not only in my life, but just how I've seen you touch so many lives, and I'm sure I only know the half of it. So, congratulations. You've stuck with it. You've just hammered down and accomplished this great thing that you set out to accomplish, and it really inspired me in so many different ways to shift a paradigm in my life, in my thought processes. I'd have to say that there's been many episodes that have really touched me and encouraged me, inspired me. Olagai Sangolo, I know I'm not pronouncing his name correctly. Episode 68. Wow, that was incredible. So, keep it going, man. I don't know. Keep it going. Continue to touch and change the lives of those that tune in. And I wish you great success moving forward to your to wherever this thing is going to take you. So again, congratulations, son. 100 episodes. Fantastic.
What's up, Mark? To the Knox family, it was an honor to have been on episode 56. Look, I want you to keep doing what you're doing. I want your family to keep doing what they're doing. I want your wife to keep doing what you're doing because y'all are truly an inspiration to us all the way out here in Texas. Look, guys, I don't want you to think that you're just making an impression and influencing a small circle. You're making an impression on the world. So keep doing what you're doing. Don't let nothing stop you. God bless you. I can't wait to see the heights that God takes you.
Hey, bro, it's Marcus, and for those who don't know, I was on episodes 57, Better is Coming, and 87, Your Net Worth is Your Network of the School of Hard Knocks podcast, I am extremely excited for the fact that you've made it to episode 100. This is a huge milestone, but this is not the only milestone that I expect from you or this podcast. My hope, my prayer is that this podcast picks up and becomes a household name. You're always dropping gems for your listeners, and we are forever grateful for the fact that you took the time and effort to pour into us, your listeners. I'm excited and just looking forward to see what God does. Talk to you soon.
Wow.
Jeff Lazenby checking in. First, I just want to say congrats. 100 episodes. I mean, that's not easy. I've seen a bunch of people start podcasts and they're done after 3 weeks. So congrats, man. You really stay dedicated to it with everything you have going on with family, business, work life, everything. Stay dedicated to it. Just keep it up, man. You know, I'm here. We gonna always, clown, motivate each other, do whatever we got to do to get to that next step. So just keep doing it. I know the next 100 episodes are going to be even better. So just keep doing it. Keep motivating people. Keep motivating business owners. I'll listen all the time, so you motivate me every week. So I appreciate it. Kind of like my mentor without, an official title. So yeah, you just got it. So that's fine. Just keep it up, man. And I look forward to more episodes. I look forward to seeing you grow, seeing the business grow, seeing the podcast grow. And yeah, man, just congrats.
Hey, Mark, congratulations on your 100th episode. I want to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to be featured on your podcast. I listen to various episodes and I love the content. I love what you guys are doing for aspiring and new entrepreneurs and even entrepreneurs that have been in the game to kind of keep us, motivated and encouraged. Keep up the good work. And, I love the School of the Hard Knocks. I love what you guys are about. And I wish you guys 100,000 more episodes, an infinite amount of episodes. Just keep growing. And, I'm here to see it. Congratulations.
What's up, Mark? To the Knox family, it was an honor to have been on episode 56.
Hey.
I think y'all just heard Brad's, but hold on. I'm so sorry. Hold on.
This is Brandon and Amanda from Brandon Home, yes. Episode 53.
Yes.
And we just want to congratulate Mark on his 100th episode.
Woo-hoo.
Absolutely, man. You've been killing the game out here, giving out great advice and really just giving all of us entrepreneurs a platform to really just come together and discuss what we go through on a daily basis.
Congratulations on episode 100. We love you.
Okay, so those were the folks that sent in audio, like video audio, but I'm not done, Mark. Okay, so hold on. I know this is a lot, so go on ahead and tell us how you are feeling right now. And I'm gonna get my text people who sent me their texts.
You don't know. You don't know what impact you have on people while you're having the impact, right? And I really appreciate, number one, you for putting all that together and reaching out to individuals, but just you don't understand what that's doing to me right now.
Okay, well, let's just keep it going.
I'm talking about
Hi,
gas.
Mark. This is Robin Ellington.
See.
Hi, Mark. This is Robin Ellington. I am so proud of you. Congratulations on making it to your 100th episode of the School of Hard Knocks podcast. What an amazing accomplishment. And it just inspires me that you have an ultimate mission to inspire, motivate, and challenge others. You are challenging me through the episode, My First Real Estate Deal. I love.
My phone cut off.
But and
you
know what's crazy about that episode?
So here's
though?
the thing. So here's the thing. What we're gonna do is, like I said, I'm not tech savvy, and you are the guy. That's why I'm saying I wanted to come down to you because I have another 10 voice memos.
Wow.
And everybody who sent me a clip is going to be a part of this show. So I'm sorry, but you're going to have some editing to do. So that we can kind of just like the video just all flow together. I want all of the voice text to flow all together.
Yeah.
So just play them, you know what I mean? And I know you guys get the drift, Danae and Mark, but I'm telling you, the first 10, I think it's about 20, you got about 25, about 25 messages out of, I don't know. I send it to everybody, but you have 25 messages. And the love has, I've had moments all week, these messages coming in that I've had to just sit in, and I've had my moments, you know what I mean? I was telling Mark the other night, I don't know, we just have to be, we got to be blessed. We have to be blessed with what we have. And sometimes we worry about so much.
Yeah.
We worry about so much. We worry about our blessings that don't even need to be worried about.
I know.
We're worried about our business. We're worried about content. Well, thank God you got the business to even pray for the content for.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thank God you got the bed in the bedroom, the house holding it. Thank God, you know? You worried about which gas station you gonna go to. Well, thank God you got a car to put the gas in. So a lot of times a podcast such as this, and this is the reason why I did this for you, Mark, it's because sometimes, and especially this summer, you can do the podcast and record these episodes every single week. And sometimes you can feel like you're not even impacting anybody. Like nobody's even listening. Right. You know what I mean? I got my clients, yeah. I got my group coaching, yeah. But what is the podcast doing? Honey, the podcast is doing what it is supposed to do. You are affecting so many people. And sometimes life just moves so much that sometimes you don't have time to tell the person who inspired you that they inspired you. But that doesn't mean that person should stop doing what they're doing because they didn't get the kudos or the pat on the back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this is to the listeners. This is to you, Mark. No matter what people say physically to you, should not depict what you do for your business and how you do it.
Yeah.
You're doing a podcast. You are talking to business owners, entrepreneurs who are or aspire to be. That's what you do. You're talking to those people, period.
Yeah.
The podcast, YouTube channels, maybe Facebook and all that are such timeless, holders of content that the thing is you never know who's listening, who's watching, who's scrolling. That should not depict or control what you do. You feel what I'm saying? I know you get my drift on that.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
But so I have some more. And I just want to kind of come down there and put them up to your mic. You know what I mean? Play them all the way through, and then just put them all together. But hey, y'all listening to some raw footage right now.
Listen, all I can say is thus far, man. Again, you just wow. You giving me so much. Um,
Look at
you
him.
giving
Look
me
at him,
so much
Danae. Look at him, Danae.
motivation.
I got him
I got
stuck.
I
I
See?
got
know.
dust in
I got
my
him
He's
eye.
stuck. See?
speechless.
I got
The
He got
questionnaire
you.
is speechless.
I got dust
This
in my
is
eye.
amazing to see. I've never seen Mark like this before. So this is really
It's
The
honestly it's
interviewer doesn't even
overwhelming.
know what to say.
It's
Mm.
overwhelming, and it is always a grateful. I'm always grateful, and I count it. I don't take it for granted. Um, when people appreciate you, and when people love you, and
Mm.
when people support you, that they're able to vocalize that, and you're able to hear it. Right?
Mm.
They people always say, don't wait till they gone and give them their flowers. You know what I mean?
absolutely.
Oof.
And that's really the
There you
position that
go.
that y'all got me in right now is really. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, the word that just everybody kept saying was just consistent, consistent,
Yeah,
consistent.
they did.
And y'all,
That's
listen,
it.
I promise, I've said this in so many episodes. I've struggled with consistency for a long time. And for people to recognize my consistency is major. And then I'm gonna be 100% with y'all. I don't care how old a man gets. When his daddy says that he is proud of him, it turns him into it turns him into a 5-year-old boy who just learned how to spell his name. I don't know. I mean, it shrinks me down. It shrinks me down in the best way possible, right? I mean,
Mm.
not the fact that I've been able to help my dad and influence my dad is great. Don't get me wrong. That's awesome. That's way more than I bargained
Mm.
for, right? But for him to say that he's proud of me, man, come on. That's what half the young
Yeah.
men out here, are living for, and have never gotten. You know what I mean? So I am eternally grateful for that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. And he
Well,
got
let's
all my. Go
well
ahead.
let's do this. Let's do this real quick, and then you'll slice it up. But let me do the IG ones, okay?
Okay. Y'all, I knew y'all was up to something. Mm-hmm.
Congratulations, Mark. It is Danielle Thompson from
Hey.
episode 61. I am super excited. I mean, 100th episode. That is not easy, okay? This is not for the weak, and that is you. You are strong. You have given entrepreneurs a platform to be able to be true to themselves, to be able to express their businesses, express their backgrounds, be able to connect with others and network. And I appreciate you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be on your podcast. It has truly blessed me in my life, as that was the first time I was ever a part of one. So I have to say to you, never get up. You got this. You are amazing. You are a pioneer. You are an amazing husband to my friend. You are an amazing father, an amazing entrepreneur, and you have so much more to do. Never give up. Keep soaring.
Mm-hmm. Hey, listen, I'm gonna be able to go back and listen to these whenever I need to. This is amazing. This is amazing.
How's it going? This is Jamal Foster, also known as 81 Visuals. I was featured on episode 19, and I just want to give a big shout out to Mark for his 100th episode, man. I'm super proud of you. Thank you so much for having me on, man. And I just want you to keep going, man. Thank you so much.
Turn your volume down on your phone. I heard it. No, I heard that was definitely Jamal represent. Turn your volume down on your phone a little bit, and then just bring the microphone a little bit further away from the phone.
Really? Do I need
Yeah.
to do we need to re-record that?
Yeah. Let's re-record. Just go ahead. It's cool.
Okay. Keep going, or
Yeah. Keep going. It's cool.
well, how do you want me to do this, babe? Because that's a lot of splicing up. I'm so
No,
sorry.
just
I
just
ain't
keep
got this
playing
being
them.
working.
Just
Okay,
just
okay,
keep
okay,
playing them.
okay. Yeah, the hardest part was putting these all together. Um,
It's all good. the people on YouTube, they already know what's good. Like I don't do no edits.
All right.
I just
All
upload
right. I'm
video.
ready. Yeah, I'm ready.
Go ahead. Not too
Hey,
close.
Mark, it's Dalkeisha, and I want to say congratulations on your 100th episode. How awesome is that?
Man,
you had a vision,
Dalkeisha.
created the goal, and you stuck with it. I cannot wait to see what else you do with the podcast because it is so needed. It's so necessary. So I hope you keep going with it. So here's to another 100 episodes. As always, continue being great, my guy.
They got Dalkeisha over here, boy. You know that people just take time to do this for you. It's amazing. I love it.
All right, I got another one from you from the Millers.
Hi, Mark. It's Alan and Danielle. We just want to say congratulations on your 100th episode. We are super happy for you and very proud of you. We've been doing your coaching for over a year now.
Yeah, man.
And we've definitely seen great results in our marriage. Also have made some moves in our career and our finances that have definitely made a big difference in our lives. So we just wanted to thank you and celebrate this big accomplishment with you.
See, that's the other thing when you hear.
You don't know.
Yeah, because I mean, you know, we have our sessions and we talk and we do updates, but when you hear somebody kind of tell you the areas that they've been able to work on based on the information that you provide, man, it's humbling, man. It's humbling.
All right, here we go.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Elisa Smith from episode 11, Mr. and Mrs. Entrepreneur. I want to shout out Mark for his 100th episode. Wow, what a great accomplishment. I can't wait to see what else you bring to the table. Thank you for your support with Open Arms Christian Learning Center and really helping me uncover my superpower. Continue to be great and the light and guide to those of us who want more. Congratulations and keep going.
Yeah.
Cece,
I'm almost done. I know. Yes.
Y'all cut.
Yes.
Yes. When you get to your last one, let me know because I actually saved some news for this 100th episode.
Amen. All right. I think this is going to be the last one, and if I miss it, we'll just edit it in. But I feel like this is the last one. All right.
Hello, Mark. I just wanted to congratulate you on your 100th episode of your podcast. I remember when you told me about this new venture you were going to do. I didn't even know what a podcast was, but you explained it, downloaded it on my phone, the app, and then the next thing I knew, I heard your voice on my phone. Wow. I was amazed.
Wow.
God has blessed you.
Because so that was from your mom, and she was just saying, how God has been keep just blessing you. So so we'll do this the right way, babe. You're gonna have to help me from a tech standpoint on how to get all the audio together. But man, it was a beautiful journey. Throwing the ask out there of people and them just kind of being like, oh yeah, heck yeah, like, give me a minute, like, you know what I mean, like it was beautiful. Wow. And I didn't give any timestamps, anything. I just said, tell us your name, you know what I mean, maybe what episode you came from, what is, which episode inspired you, and then just give Mark a word of encouragement. So I just feel like that was super dope, and thank you all for contributing to this surprise. Thank you so much.
It's so refreshing to know that you got people in your corner. You got people.
Wow.
You got people in your corner, especially when you go through certain seasons of life in a pandemic and you feel like you're alone and you feel like you're doing this thing alone. Because when I get behind the camera and the microphone, it's just me, majority of the time. So I feel like I got all these questions I ask myself before I hit the record button. All of these questions, and the last question is anybody even listening?
Yeah.
Like, does anybody even care? You know what I mean? Or is it just me recording this, uploading this, and listening to it the next day to make sure that it uploaded. You know what I mean? Like, I see the download numbers,
Really?
right? I see the download
Yeah.
numbers, but I don't see
Yeah, we don't need them
people's
stats though.
names. I don't see people's names, right? And I see download numbers from not just the United States, guys. I see download numbers from all over the world. Really, it's
Absolutely.
amazing, right? But when you don't, you know, have a personal relationship with all the listeners, uh, it just, man, sometimes you do feel like you're alone. So having this and having this episode and having all these people that, I love, trust, and care for, say these things, man, it affirms what I'm supposed to be doing right now with this platform and why we started and the lives and the businesses that we've been able to affect. And I'm grateful. I'm definitely humbled by that. So thank you, every last one of you guys. Every last one of you guys.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Come on, Danae. Yes.
So,
Yeah.
I've been racking my head because I was the first episode. I'm like, why am I on this show? Why am I on this show? I am not work for corporate America. Why am I here? And just, listening to every episode and hearing everybody saying, hey, you've helped me as an entrepreneur grow to this, and you've helped me as an entrepreneur grow to this. But I want to let you know that Danae Lynette Hankerson is officially a business owner. I have a consulting firm now. Yes, I am a consultant. And if you would have told me of October of 2019 when I sat down with you that here today, looking at you, I'm gonna like, hey, I'm a business owner. I thought I was gonna be in corporate America, solely working for the man. And God has opened a door where I can have my own business and still work for corporate America, but set my own hours.
Wow.
And pretty much have a good work-life balance. And yeah, my story is so much bigger than this. It's been a ride, but we finally arrived. So now I'm able to really dive into things. But I just want to say thank you so much, Mark. Thank you so much, CC. You guys are amazing. You guys seen something in me because me and CC, we were trying to do the makeup thing, and I was like, I like it, but I don't like it like that. I like it on my own. I ain't got passion like that. My back hurt.
Hey,
So
that's a whole episode right there. That's a whole episode.
That made my back hurt.
That's a whole episode. But no, go ahead. Yeah.
It's so crazy because I think I was in Seattle. Hold on, I'm gonna put my laptop in. And we had a meeting. I had a meeting with you guys, and Mark goes, Danae, you know what your thing is? And I was like, I don't know what my thing is. I don't. It's like a sale.
I remember that.
Yeah. It's sales. Flat
and
out.
Look at me. I'm and my whole consultant for sales. So so I just want to say thank you for creating the platform, and this has been amazing. And I'm super excited for these next 100,000. I said that.
Right. Pause,
and not only that, but to extend in other areas, and as I'm listening to these people talk, you don't even know who you've touched that you don't even know. Yeah. These are just the ones that she was able to record and get a hold of. And these are people that were on the show. So we don't even know who you've actually transformed their lives, and they're not even on the show. So God bless you. And I see good things coming from you being obedient. We often say, hey, we have this issue in this area. But when we listen to God and we allow God to lead our life, we don't know why we're doing something and why it's important to be consistent, but it's on our heart to keep going. It's because there's somebody. It does not matter if you only hit one person. That means that one person was there to hear that one person needed that word to go forth and be great, right? Okay. So we don't know what people are holding on to, that you releasing these episodes every week releases in them. Okay, so what you put out into the earth, God puts back into other people, and it's growing the kingdom of God in so many different ways. Yeah, this is an entrepreneurial base, but it's so much bigger than this. And I encourage you to continue to keep going, and that as you go, you're going to get tenfold. Actually, I just heard 100-fold.
I believe in
So
that.
That's what I
continue,
heard.
I received that. I received that.
continue to go forward, and God's going to continue to bless you. And do not be surprised if you are asked to be on TV shows, radio stations, and asked to
Come on.
travel out. God is about
Come
to
on.
take you to a whole nother level. Somebody is going to hear this episode or a certain episode that you wouldn't even think is listening to your podcast. They're going to get a hold of it, and they're going to ask you to travel to see them. And then you're also going to be asked to tour.
Wow.
And you're also
Come
going to
on.
be asked for a book.
Wow.
There's a
Come
book deal
on.
as well. And for some reason, I'm here in California as well. So I'm not sure
Yep.
if there's in the works for that or any. Oh, New York just dropped in my spirit as well. San Francisco, Philadelphia.
Yeah. I'm locked
And
in right
and
now.
these areas are in so many different
I
places,
receive it.
right? Oh, I just heard
receive it.
Ghana. Ghana just hit me too.
Mm.
So Mark, continue to go forth, be great, be blessed. And the crazy thing is like I tell y'all, I love Jesus. And as you can see,
Amen.
God continue to
Yes.
put me forward and everything. And it all started here. Here.
Oh,
Wow.
God is
And
good.
this is an amazing platform, and
Wow.
we're going to continue to grow and go forth. So God is you know, the things that you've done and the times that you've, you know, cried without even CC knowing, or you know, things are been heavy on you and you don't know what to do. God has seen when you've taken the opportunity to be with your family instead of going and do foolishness. When you knew you needed to be where you were and you went and did what you were obedient, God is about to pay you back tenfold, 100-fold, 1,000-fold for every little thing that you've sacrificed. And sometimes when we sacrifice, we often feel like nobody sees it. And from where you're saying, you're like, I don't even know if any who knew that I touched this many people.
Yeah.
But when you sacrifice, God sees it, and that's the only person that we need to be obedient to. People, it does not matter the voice of man. So continue to go forward, continue to listen to God, continue to be just a great man of God that you are, father, husband, son, nephew, uncle. You are great, and not only that, you're making an impact on so many people within your household, so many people within this community and the world. I'm so proud of you. And this is just, I can't wait to see everything that God has coming for you.
Man, thank you so
God.
much. I receive
Amen and
everything you just said.
amen.
I believe it. I can see it. Like we said, we didn't know where this was going when we started. Couldn't tell you on episode 1 that I seen episode 100. Had no clue what that looked like. But as many times as I've wanted to not do the show anymore, this is it's amazing to be in this place, because it's not been easy. It's not been easy. It's not been easy to be consistent, right? It's not been easy. So, and honestly, God has kept me through all of life's transitions, through all of life's ups and downs, and life's sideways and wrong ways. He's kept me, and he's kept me focused on this mission, and I do believe that he's using me to walk alongside. The clients that I have are special. They really are. They're special. You heard Ray talk a minute ago, and you know, I don't necessarily ever tell people who my clients are, but Ray Ball, man, has she told me last year, actually. She told me that I was her Yoda, right? And I was like, yo, for real? Yoda? You know what I mean? So I'm like, you know, and I don't take that for granted. I do not take that for granted. So everything that comes out of my mouth when I'm talking to my clients is well thought out. It's never off the cuff, and it's always with their best interest in mind. And that's how I approach this show. Everything I say, it may seem like I'm just pulling from the sky, but I'm telling you right now, I think about it. I think about how I'm going to say what I'm going to say, because I know that the people that listen to me, I hold a special even though it might be small or large, I hold a piece of influence over their business decisions and some of their life decisions. So I don't take it lightly that you guys have trusted me with this platform. It's your platform, right? I'm just the vessel, but it is your platform. It's not a spiritual show, but you can see that just based on who I am, what I'm
Spirit is
about,
welcome.
what I represent, the spirit flows. The spirit of God flows through this show. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. The guests I bring on, the sacrifices that they've made, the hardships that they've been through, it's inevitable. So all praise be to God, man. All praise be to God. You've guys seen me wear my salvation hat. Marcus LaCour, Minister LaCour, has come on the show multiple times, and we just sit and chop it up because that's what it's all about. Brad, wow. You know what I mean? Brad, wow. That's what it's all about. So, yeah, we talk business, but we know it's no business without the Lord. So, wow. Hey, let me hear that.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm
let me hear that.
Yeah. I'm trying to find all of them in my text. So
what's going on, everybody? This is Olgi, CEO of Sports Medicine The Difference and the developer of the Healers Technology Shoe. Giving a big shout out to Mark and the School of Hard Knocks, his amazing podcast. I had the pleasure of being on episode number 68, and I can tell you right now, he is definitely putting entrepreneurs on the map. So this is just a huge shout out from us from The Difference to you, Mark. Keep doing what you're doing. You are truly the difference. Everybody, this is the guy to tap into. Have a blessed day. Take care. Ciao, ciao.
Class is dismissed.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, but seriously though, we are going to edit in all of the well wishes and all of the messages because I personally here's the thing, and then I'm gonna let you go. And I appreciate you guys for sticking around on this episode. I know it's longer than most, but I'm gonna let you go after this. Here's the thing. Here's the most important part of what I'm hearing from the individuals that sent these messages. You have heard me say multiple times that this show is not just for right now. This show is for the future. Eventually, my 3 kids are going to listen to these episodes. I got to bring my camera back. My 3 kids are going to listen to these episodes at some point. Let me switch. All right, here we go. I'm just switch cameras.
Yeah.
When my kids get to episode 100 and they hear all of the people that their dad touched, do you know what that's going to do to them? Like, they're 14 months and 5 years old right now. They probably not going to get it, right? But when they're struggling through a certain subject in college or even high school, or trying to start their business or trying to work on their marriage or start a family, and they get to episode 100, they're going to look back and say, wow, my dad was able to touch these people with this platform, and I've got all the tools from episode 1 to 100, and he ain't even really get started yet, y'all. Just from 1 to 100, I got all the tools to get me through whatever it is that I'm going through right now. That's what this is about. It's about that legacy. So I appreciate each and every one of you, because not only have you spoken into my life and my wife's life and each other's lives, you've also spoken into my children's lives, which is priceless. So appreciate you, Danae. Love you, CC. We're going to keep it rocking. We're going to let the listeners go. Stay tuned. Episode 101 coming out next week. I got so much gas right now. It ain't even funny. Not that kind of gas, like gas. So what you got, CC?
I got 2 more. I found them.
You got 2 more? Go ahead.
Hey, what's going on? This is Brother Hodge. Let me get my camera straight.
Hey.
I was featured on episode 29. The episode was called No Excuse Not to Know.
That's right.
Me and you, Brother Knox, talked about the educational system and, what to do from students at a young age. And you kind of really challenged it, made me think about that. And you interviewed me at a time where COVID was high and people were locked down doing homeschooling. If I can give you a word of encouragement, and I want to really express my congratulations to your 100th episode. If I give you a word of encouragement, it will come from the ultimate book of encouragement, which is the Bible, because I know you are a Bible-believing brother.
Got that, bro.
Proverbs 10:4 states, I want to read it verbatim, he who has a slack hand becomes poor, but the hand of the diligent makes rich. And my brother, I want to say to you that you have two pair of diligent hands. Amen, you got your hand, which are extremely diligent, and you also have the hands of your lovely wife, your partner. You help meet the person that is helping you and pushing you toward greatness. That's right. Man, I love you. I'm glad that you're doing what you're doing. Please keep it up. I promise you, I want to be able to say I knew that brother when he interviewed me. When you make it big, man. Blessings to your family. Keep doing the good work. Wow. And man, this is 100. I'm looking forward to the 1,000th episode gala one day, bro.
Let's go.
I'll talk to you later. Appreciate what you've done for me. I appreciate the words of encouragement and wisdom that you pour out on a weekly basis. Peace.
Let's go, man.
That's confirmation right there.
Right there, man.
Come on.
That's
and here I was worried about how I was going to play all these daggone videos, and look at folks just out here. You know what I mean? I got one more, and I got to find him. I got to find you. I'm going to find you. I'm going to find you. What's so interesting is I learned a lot about myself in this process. Y'all, I'm not the most organized person. I mean, I'm not. I get an idea. I swear to God, I was like, man, I wish Mark knew what I was doing.
Well, listen, no, Mark, like your wife is so, and I'm sure you know this, you guys have been together for like ever. And sorry, I just thought about your story and how y'all ended up together. So anywho, but she texted me and she's like, I really want to do this for Mark. Like, I was like, absolutely do it. She's like, I'm so nervous. Do you think people? Absolutely, go ahead. So she drops the message in my inbox just randomly, and then she texts me. She's like, proofread that, make sure it makes sense before I send it out. I'm like, oh, okay, so I'm just a dummy. All right, cool, because I read it. And I was like, this is amazing. You don't need to record. Hey, totally forgetting that I was on the show, right? So I was like, okay,
I'll like, you don't need to record anything. You're going to be on the show.
Like, oh. Great. But anywho, she was just like, so when she finally got the videos, I think she maybe texted me, it was either yesterday or Wednesday, and she was like, oh my gosh, they're pouring in. She's like, I'm just about to cry. Like, I don't think, to be honest, like, Mark, you say it took you off guard, but it clearly took Cece off guard of the impact that you guys are actually taking. Because I'm sure there were times where it was just kind of like, why are we got two babies that are crying, Marmarch, acting up, what you mean we got to record? When, where, why? Yeah. So all those sacrifices and everything. So it's 100 episodes, and that's why I changed it to 1,000-fold, because you got to 100 for a reason. So God, he wants us to see what you're gonna do with the small, if you're gonna be obedient before he can bless you with the big.
Oh man.
So I see 1,000, man. 1,000, definitely 1,000-fold.
Here's the last one, you guys. And then close us out, because we keep going. Just close us out now.
Okay.
Hey, Mark, this is Dr. Therese Thomas from episode number 5. Can you believe that? Episode 5 was so long ago, but wanted to just say congratulations on reaching your 100th episode on your podcast. That's 100 weeks of being consistent, 100 weeks of adding value in the lives of so many people, and 100 weeks of coming strong with encouragement. So simply want to say congratulations. There are so many episodes that I can think of that really spoke to me and helped me along my journey. One specifically that stands out, I think it was like episode 16, when they were talking about nothing wasted and the power of influence. So thank you so much to adding value to my life, and I wish you 100 plus more episodes. Take care.
Done.
Hey, I wasn't even he wasn't a doctor when we interviewed him. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like, he wasn't a doctor when we interviewed him. Praise God.
Oh, yes. He is a doctor, y'all.
He allowed me to come down to his school and interview him in his office. He was in the principal's. He was the principal. And I interviewed him in his office. I had my mic set up and everything. Y'all, my palms were sweaty. I was so nervous. Oh my gosh. Episode 5. Well, listen. That is the show for the week. We could keep going.
That's the show, y'all.
We gonna spare y'all. Please, 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 please share this episode with somebody who you know needs to hear it. This is a School of Hard Knocks podcast. I'm your host, Mark W. Knox. Class is dismissed.
Dismissed.
Yeah.